Hello and welcome to the Retro Replay. Now some of you may know about the Neo Geo brand name, but for those who don't I'll briefly explain it. Neo Geo was owned by the company S&K, which is famous for producing many arcade machines and many arcade games in the 90s. And to try and bring arcades into the home, S&K produced a console called the AES, which is not what we're going to be talking about in this video, but possibly another video if I ever get the system. But in order to make it cheaper and more affordable for the consumers to buy a Neo Geo system and to play the arcades at home, they produce a CD-based system, which is called the Neo Geo CD. Yep, and this was an cheaper alternative, as mentioned, to make it more affordable for gamers to play arcade games at home rather than paying a fortune for an AES or an arcade machine. But what does the system offer? Well, let's take a closer look. So here's a Neo Geo CD up close. As you can see, it's the top loader model. There is a front loader model which I believe runs discs slightly faster, but that's a little harder to come by. So as you can see, by pressing the top of the console, it allows you to place discs inside and take them out, of course. And to play them, you just close it like so. Simple enough, no problems there. And also on the top you have a power button. There's no reset buttons, so that's the only way you can turn the games on and off. At the front you have the controller port, controller 1, controller 2, and it's interesting to note that you can use the controllers for the AES console. So if you had the big arcade stick for the AES, you can actually plug it into the Neo Geo CD, which is pretty cool actually. And vice versa. On the side there's nothing exciting. On the bottom, just, well, that's it, nothing else really on the bottom. On the other side, nothing, just plain on the sides today. And on the back we have the power port. Now this model is only compatible with the Japanese port plug, I believe, or the DC cable. We have AV out, we have S-video out, and we have just the normal AV jacks, the yellow, red and white. So yep, we've got different ways connecting it to the TV, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. And if you are planning on playing it in the UK or any other country with a different electrical current system, then you'll obviously need a converter, a power converter such as this, which allows it to be played in UK plug adapters. So yep, it's definitely useful to get one of these if you are considering getting a Neo Geo CD, because, well, I don't believe they've released it over here, so that's the only way you can play the Neo Geo CD over here. Now here is the Neo Geo CD controller. As you can see, there's a directional pad here, which feels very similar to the Neo Geo Pocket directional pad, which I'll hopefully review at some point. So that it feels good, it clicks in place. So yep, this obviously easy to control and feels very comfortable. Also we have your select and start for the menus, and you have your A, B, C and D. So it's a simple layout similar to the Super Nintendo and the Sega Mega Drive controller. And I do believe there are some modifications to SNES controllers, so it allows you to play the Neo Geo CD with Super Nintendo controller. But that's just a little trivia fact that you may not know, but there are some out there, so if you can't find one of these, then that's an alternative you can look for. So here are the cases used to hold the games in. As you can see, it's a dual case because these are CDs, so you just open it like so with one hand. There you go, there's a CD, which usually are in excellent condition because, as we all know, the Japanese look after the games and the rest of us around the world just don't really care, which is a shame. And the instruction manuals are usually within the case itself. The front cover is usually like this. They have Japanese text, obviously, with information about what type of game it is, if we have it the right way around, and as well as the English title, so you can easily read what the title is without having to know much Japanese. So That is always very handy. And also the side usually contains information about the game, the company who made it, whether it's by SNK or a third party, and also what type of game of it is. So that is pretty useful, and yep, they're easy enough to collect for. So enough about all that. Let's look at some gameplay. Now first we just quickly need to talk about the loading times. Sometimes they can be a little long, but overall generally it's not too bad. Some games may take longer to load, but other than that the loading times are fine. But the first game we're going to look at is Blues Journey, possibly one of my favourites for the system in general, and that's always good. It shows you how to play the games. Most of the Neo Geo games show you how to play because it's an arcade game basically. Some great music for this game, and this is quite a lot like Super Mario Brothers in a way because of collecting items, which is flowers by the way. Jumping around, you can shrink and decrease your size and go back to normal size, and you attack with what looks like a leaf, but I couldn't really tell you. You can jump on enemies, throw enemies, whip enemies, and it's pretty good actually. You can go in shops as well, spend your flower currency or something. Though I can't understand exactly what you can get because it's in Japanese, and obviously I don't understand Japanese. But yeah, it's a pretty fun game, so it's definitely one to check out for Neo Geo, which is on the AES as well as the CD, as obviously shown. So yeah, definitely want to check out. Next game on the list is Robot Army, which is a side-scrolling beat-em-up similar to Streets of Rage. Loading times not too bad, as you can see, a few loads, but other than that, not too bad. Now, from what I can gather from the plot, it's where some evil mad scientist has taken over the world, probably Dr. Mad's cousin or something, I don't know. He's created a robot army, taken over the world, and you as a cyborg are trying to free the humans that have been captured. That's what I can gather anyway, but as I said, I can't understand Japanese, so that's what I'm guessing. And yes, I haven't got a second player, so I can't show you what second player looks like. But it's a pretty good game, pretty good side-scrolling beat-em-up. Pick up power-ups, and you can use obviously special attacks, special moves. So it's pretty fun actually, pretty addictive. So it's definitely one to pick up if you're side-scrolling beat-em-up fan. And you can also like pick up items and throw them like cars and get rid of all my bikes there. So sometimes it might be a bit try and error. This an SNK logo in the background. Pick up a barrel and boom, and another one, boom. Yeah, so it's a really fun game, this one. Definitely one you should check out. It's not too expensive, I don't believe. So, yeah, definitely one to pick up for the Neo Geo CD system. Next up is Magician Lord, which is a Neo Geo classic, obviously. Available on various systems and even on PlayStation Network. Now it shows you how to play the game as well, obviously. And again, it's in Japanese, but the game's more or less self-explanatory, so you don't really need to understand what it's saying to understand how to play the game unless you're interested in the story, but you can probably find that out on the internet. But anyway, as you can see, it's a side-scrolling shooter, even though you're using magic, but it counts as a side-scrolling shooter. And a great thing about this game is you actually get power-ups which change your appearance and gives you special abilities. Now, bear in mind, if you lose all your certain amount of health when you get these power-ups, you do transform back to normal, such as so. But that's the aim of the game, is trying to teach you to not lose those power-ups. So you normally get three hit points and 2 additional ones for your power-ups. But it's a really fun game and definitely one to check out for any Neo Geo system. Next we have King of Fighters 95. I do own a copy of 94 and 96, but as they're more or less the same game, just different versions, I'm not going to be discussing those in this review. But you can probably get the general gist. It's your typical fighter, not in a bad way, but it's similar to games such as Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Now, as you're about to see, after it loads,
I've chosen the girl with bouncy boobies. Interesting. As you're about to see, this isn't my strongest area of gaming, as I'm not too good at fighters. I'm not terrible, but in these type of games are pretty awful, as I just got my ass kicked. And that wasn't very nice for Robert, was it? You hurt a girl. That's not very nice at all. Not me, the character. But from what I've played a bit, it seems a very good fighter. Definitely one to check out for the new year, as well as other classics. The others in the series, I presume, are pretty good. So yeah, it's definitely one to check out. And oh, looks like I'm actually going to beat him. I'm going to beat him. Come on, come on! Oh no! Oh, you see, that's why I'm not particularly good at fighters. I do try my best, but that's the way it goes. Okay, last up, but by certainly no means least, we have Cross Swords, which is an action RPG. Very interesting game. I didn't quite expect it, but then I didn't know what to expect from it. And this is one of those games that actually uses saves and files, as the Neo Geo is capable of saving data. Now, you obviously can select different stages, similar to games like Mega Man. And once we let the game load, then we get this pretty amusing cutscene. Help me! I'm being chased by a giant evil Sparkster from the Mega Drive game. Oh no, he's killed me! Ah! Sorry about that. Anyway, as for the gameplay, it's pretty good actually. You get to use like different moves. You can use your shield to block, your sword to attack in different directions. You can also pick up gold pieces to upgrade armor, increase your health, and all sorts. So yeah, this is a really fun game, and definitely one you should check out for the system.
So overall, what can I say about the Neo Geo CD system? Well, I've got to say I love it. Yeah, honestly I do. I mean, it's a great alternative to buying an AES or NVS system. Now, true, loading times are a little bit of a problem, but personally I think you should get over them, because once the loading times are through, then the games run smoothly enough. So just get a cold drink or something while you're waiting for the load times. But other than that, there's no real problems with the system, I think. I mean, the games are easy to collect for. Couldn't tell the prices. Most common ones, you're looking at about £10 to £15 or $15–20, and £50 upwards for the more rarer titles. But yeah, it's definitely a cheaper alternative, and you're looking into getting into the Neo Geo, good place to start. So that's my review for the Neo Geo CD system. I hope you enjoyed this review, and as always, I'm Retro Nick, playing the good, the bad, and the retro. Okay, that's another review out of the way with. So, what next? I don't know. What about the 3D? What was that? I've been rated Retro Nick. You will be mine.
It would seem the madness has just begun.